Welcome to Along for the Ride with Mark Keene, the Riding Realtor. One of the questions I get asked most often is what's the process for buying a home? The first step in the process is to get pre-approved. What you want to do is you need to find a lender, someone you're comfortable with that's going to get you pre-approved. They'll check your credit, find out if they'd actually buy a house. Once you've accomplished that, then you hook up with a real estate agent, preferably one that communicates with you and possibly even works with the lender that you've decided to work with. Now, once you're pre-approved, what the lender's going to do is they're going to tell you what's the value of the house they have determined that you can afford. That's not necessarily what the price or the value is that you're wanting to purchase. Because sometimes they may tell you could afford $1 million house where you're only wanting to spend $300,000 or $400,000 for a house. What you want to do when you're having the conversation with your lender is you want to determine what's the value of the mortgage that you're comfortable paying every month. You don't want to become what's known as being house poor, where you're taking all your funds and all your money and you're paying on your mortgage and you have nothing left to do anything else, basically to enjoy life. So you need to figure out what your value is, what the mortgage is that you're comfortable paying. Once you determine the value of the house that you're looking for, then you contact your real estate agent. What you do with your real estate agent, you tell them what the value is. If you're looking for $300,000, $400,000, $1 million house, whatever that might be, and then you work with them in finding your house. Now, you want to find a real estate agent that's going to communicate with you on a regular basis, answer your calls, respond to your texts, respond to your emails, one that's going to work for you, one that's going to be actively participating in the process of helping you find a house. You also need to participate. Don't be afraid to do the home search yourself. Contact your real estate agent. Hey, I want to go look at this house. That's equally important. The information you want to provide to your agent is you want to let them know how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, you want a basement, a garage, you want to live out in the country, you want to live in a neighborhood close to a town, what city you want to live in. Equally important is what city don't you want to live in. Sometimes you just may not like the school system, so that's your determination. Let them know, give them all that information, and then start the search for your home. Now, the process of finding your house, it should be fun. This should be exciting. You should be able to go out with an agent who's just as excited to help you find a house as you are looking for one. Now, once you've found the house that you like, you're ready to move in, you're ready to go, you make the offer on the house. Once you get an accepted offer, that's when your lender comes back into play. You have to reach out to your lender, let them know. You and your agent need to communicate with each other and your lender to move the process to closing. Once you have an accepted offer, there's a couple different steps you're going to need to take. First, you need to get the earnest money deposited, whether with the listing agent or the title company. Next thing you need to do is you need to have a home inspection done to have the inspector come through and see if there's any issues with the house, mostly structural and safety issues, to determine whether or not you want to proceed. Once all that's complete and the home inspection is done and everything's okay, it comes up to you. It's your responsibility to get the information that your lender is looking for in order to move towards a smooth closing. The normal time frame when it comes to from the time you have an accepted offer in your house to the time of actually closing is around 30 days. A lot of that depends on you as the buyer of the house, how much you're communicating with your lender, how much you're communicating with your agent. When they ask you for something, how responsive you are with them, getting the information back to them. Once all that's done and all the paperwork's done, you pass the appraisal, the lender's doing their job, you get what's known as a clear to close. Everything's gone to underwriting, everything's okay, you got the big okie dokie, boom, you're ready to go, you're ready to move into the house. Once you have clear to close, it usually takes anywhere from 48 hours to 72 hours to have it set your closing date. Once you have a closing date, then all the parties involved, the seller, the listing agent, the buyer's agent, and yourself, you all meet at the closing table, and then they sign off on everything at the closing table. Once that's done, you receive the keys to your new house and you have the house of your dreams that you're ready to move into. Now, based on this, it sounds like it's a simple process. And it is actually, it's a pretty simple process. Two most important things, and it's actually the most important thing, is you need to find a lender and you need to find a real estate agent that are both going to have open lines of communication. They say buying a house is one of the most stressful things you can do. You need a lender that when you call them, they answer. Real estate agent, when you call them, they answer. You send them a text, they respond to the text, they respond to your emails. That eliminates your stress because you're chasing down either one of these people. That's going to add to your stress and your frustration when it comes to buying a house. You need to find an agent. It doesn't matter if it's a brand new agent or if agent's been around for a while. If they don't respond and they don't answer your questions, you're going to add so much stress to the process of buying a house. It's going to be frustrated and you'll actually wonder why anybody actually wants to buy a house. So again, the communication with both your agent and your lender is the key to a stress-free process of buying a house.